Hello friends, my name is Arun Poddar. So today we are going to discuss about unit number 2, machine instructions and program, lecture number 6. Now let us go through the content that we are going to discuss in this lecture. We are going to discuss about assembly language notation, basic instruction types, instruction execution, and straight line sequencing. Now let us go through what is called as assembly language notation. Now the notation which represents machine instructions and program and uses assembly language format is called as assembly language notation. So this notation can be defined as the notation which contains the machine instructions as well as whenever you write a program which is using assembly language format is called as assembly language notation. So consider an example, an instruction which transfers the contents from memory location LOC to processor register R1 is specified by the statement. So as you can see here, it is the move statement. So it transfers the contents that are present in the location LOC to the processor register R1. So this is the assembly language notation. So after this, the contents of LOC are unchanged by the execution of this instruction, but the old contents of register R1 are overwritten, which means that whatever the contents that are present in the address location with name LOC will be transferred into register R1. That is, only a copy of that contents will be transferred into R1. Old contents of LOC remains unchanged. Whereas when we transfer all the contents to the register R1, so the previous contents of the R1 will be overwritten and whatever the contents of LOC are present will be transferred to R1. A second example, you can say, which adds two numbers contained in processor register R1 and R2 and places their sum in R3. So it can be specified by assembly language statement, that is add R1 comma R2 comma R3. Now let us go through the basic instruction type, that is which are the types of basic instructions. So there are three instruction types. First one is 3 address instruction, 2 address instruction, and the third one is 1 address instruction. Assume instruction contains the memory addresses of 3 operands. So there are 3 operands A, B and C. So a single instruction contains the memory address of these operands. Now in the 3 address instruction there are 3 operands along with their operation. There are 2 source operands and 1 destination operand. So the general format is given as operation source 1 comma source 2 comma destination. So here operation means add, subtract, multiplication or division or any other operation that you want to perform. Source 1 and source 2 are the 2 operands required for operation and the result of this will be stored in the third operand. So this is the syntax of a 3 address instruction. Example, add A comma B comma C. So here the operation is add, source 1 is A, source 2 is B. So the addition of takes place between operands A and B and the result is stored in destination C. So as you can see here, A and B are called source operands and C is called as a destination operand. So add is the operation that is to be done and the contents of both A as well as B is added and it is stored in location C. Now this notation can be represented in register transfer notation, that is this add A, B and C can be denoted in register transfer notation as C arrow A plus B, means the contents that are present in location A and the contents that are present in location B are added and the result is placed in C. So this is a register transfer notation. Now, in two address instruction, it will contain two operands along with the operation. So, it contains one source operand and one destination operand. So, the general format here is the operation that you want to perform, the source and the destination where you want to place the result. Consider an example, add a comma b. So, what does this instruction does here is, so operands a and b are called as source operands. So addition takes place between a and b, and the result of this will be stored in b. So b is also called as destination operand, and add is the operation that is to be performed on the operands. So here in two address instruction, addition takes place between a and b, and the result is again stored in operand b. So the contents of locations a and b are added, and the sum is stored in again in the location b. So the previous contents which were there before addition will be replaced. Now this action, this instruction can be denoted in register transfer notation as, that is, A is added to B, that is contents of location A and plus contents of location B are added, and the result is again stored in operand B, or you can say the address location B. Now we'll go for instruction execution, that is how the instruction will be executed. So we'll consider an example. Consider the task C equal to A plus B. That is, this instruction performs the addition of contents of location A and contents of location B are added, and the result or sum is stored in address C, or you can say address location number C. So we can assume that the computer allows one memory operand per instruction. So we are assuming there is only one memory operand per instruction and has the number of processor registers that are used to perform calculations. We can also assume that the word length is 32 bits and the memory is byte addressable. Also assume that a full memory address can be directly specified in a single word instruction. Now here you can see the program written for addition of two operands and storing in C. So here the first instruction, as you can see here, move A comma R0. So the contents that are present in location A are first transferred into the process register R0. Now R0 contains the contents of location A. Now we have to add it to B. So add B comma R0. So addition of content of B and addition of content of R0 takes place, and the result is again stored in R0. Now R0 contains the addition result of A as well as B. Now here you can see the program, the result should be stored in C. Now R0 contains the sum of A and B. Now just we have to move that result into C. So we can use the move instruction. So move R0 comma RC. So what does the instruction does is, it will transfer the contents of R0 into the location C. So this is how the instruction will be stored in the memory. So the three instructions of a program are in successive word location starting at location I. Suppose I is the location at which the instruction is starting. Now each instruction, as we have assumed it is 32 bits instruction, that is 32-bit machine. So each instruction is 4 bytes long. So if it is stored at 0th location, the next location will be stored at, the next instruction will be stored at 4th, and the next will be stored at 8th. So second, third instruction start at addresses I plus 4 and I plus 8. Now Let us go through what is called as straight line sequencing. Now the processor contains a register called as program counter, which holds the address of the instruction to be executed next. So as we have discussed in the first unit, there is a specialized register called as program counter, which will keep track of the current program that is going to be executed. Now to first begin executing the program, so if you want to execute the first instruction, first the address should be placed into the program counter. So program counter will point to that instruction. Next step is the processor control circuits uses the information in the PC to fetch and execute instruction one at a time. So after the address is went into the program counter, the processor will get the address of that instruction which is to be executed in an order, that is in the order of increasing address, and this take instruction one at a time, that is one instruction at a time. So this type of fetching and executing instruction one at a time is called as straight line sequencing, that is you are fetching the instruction and executing the instruction one at a time, not all the instructions are executed at a time. So this is called as straight line sequencing. Now consider the same figure. Now during the execution of each instruction, the PC is incremented by 4 to point to the next instruction. So as you can see here, the PC is first pointing to the location I. So if this instruction, after this instruction get executed in the instruction register, the PC will next point to the next instruction, that is by 4 bytes. Now after the move instruction at location I plus 8 is executed. Now suppose this instruction at the last it is executed, then the PC will, that is the program counter will update its contents and it will point to I plus 12, because each word is of 4 bytes. So each word is stored, each instruction is stored with 4 bytes long. So the byte addresses are always 4 bytes long. So the next instruction will be at location I plus 12. Now for execution of this program, it is a two-phase procedure. Now in the first phase, the instruction is fetched from the memory location whose address is in the PC. Now suppose the execution starts, PC contains the address of the first instruction. Now the processor should fetch the address of this instruction. So address of this instruction will be in the PC. So memory will fetch the address of the instruction which is stored in the program counter. So this is the first phase. After this, after the memory gets the address of the instruction from the program counter, this instruction will be placed in the instruction register in the processor. So the processor first, after fetching the address of the instruction to be executed, it will place that instruction in the instruction register. So this phase is called as instruction fetch. So in this phase only we are fetching the instruction and placing it into the instruction register. Now after the first phase, at the start of the second phase, the instruction in IR is examined to determine which operation is to be performed. Now in the first phase, as we have seen, the processor fetches the address of the instruction which is placed in the PC, and after fetching the address, it places the contents of that is places the contents of that address and the instruction in instruction register. So now instruction register contains the entire instruction. Now before starting the second phase, it will determine whether the other operation has to be performed by the processor. Now if suppose it involves fetching the operands from the memory or from process register, or performing an arithmetic or logical operation and storing the result in destination location. Now suppose if it has fetched the instruction and the instruction is placed in the instruction register, now processor should determine whether it requires further processing like performing arithmetic or logic operations of the registers. So if it is done and the result is stored in the destination location, so this is the second phase. So this second phase is called as instruction execute. So during this phase we determine or process the instruction as well as perform some operation and store the result in the destination location. Now when the execute phase of an instruction is completed, that is when the second phase is completed and a single instruction is completed, now it should, the program counter should update to the next instruction, that is it contains the address of the next instruction to be executed. Now in this lecture we have studied about the different notations in assembly languages, the types of basic instruction, that is one address, two address and three address instructions, and the execution of the program using straight line sequencing. Thank you.